Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 47 of the Walk with Ethan Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to double the two remaining shows from Sunday, June 25th, and also run down the shows from Monday, June 26th through Thursday, June 29th. For all my Canadian listeners, happy early Canada Day. All the American listeners, happy early 4th of July. So, we're just going to get right into it. We're just going to start with the two shows that I didn't do from this past Sunday's episode because they were live as me and John were recording. So I'm just gonna run them very quick. So we're gonna kick it off with GCW versus New Self. This is the second annual show. So we kick it off with Jack Harwood and GCW defeating Brogan Finley, representing New Self at 7 minutes and 9 seconds. So GCW gets on the board 1-0. Second match, Cole Roddick representing GCW defeating New Self's Tyler Franks, 8 minutes and 56 seconds. So GCW takes the lead 2-0. Third match, Hunter Drake representing New Self defeating GCW's Alex Price at 9 minutes and 18 seconds. So GCW 2, New Self finally gets on board 1. Fourth match, 8-man tag team match. We had Team New Self, that's Donnie Primetime, Ronald Freeman, Stunt Marshall, and Walter 13 defeating Team GCW, that is one half of the tag champs, Joe and Oliver. One call Manners, Bobby Flanko, and Jimmy Lloyd, 19 minutes and 29 seconds. So we are tied 2 apiece. Fifth match, GCW's FE defeating New Self, Stealing McQueen, 8 minutes and 15 seconds. So GCW in the lead by 1. Six match that we have Akago Death Society, Chris Crown, Kevin Ryan, and Brain 2 represent New Self, defeating GCW's Los Masalas, Cyclone Medio Extremo, and John Whitmer in 10 minutes. So we're tied back up again. Semi-main event for the GCW World Title Championship, Blake Christian defeating New Self's Brandon Williams, 16 minutes and 40 seconds. So GCW up 4-3. And the main event in a tag team death match, represent GCW, we had the Ultra Violent champion Rena Yamashita and Sawyer Wreck defeating New Self champion Kenzie Page and Kylie Alexa represent New Self in 14 minutes and 33 seconds. So the final score is GCW has 5 and New Self with 3. So GCW wins the brand warfare again. So that was GCW versus New Self. Now we will go to AEW's and New Japan Forbidden Door. So we can go with an 8-man tag team match. This is the pre-show. We have 4 pre-show. We hit Mogul MC, Swerve Strickland in the ring. Our 6-man tag teams: Brian Cage, Toy Loya, and Khan. Go against Chaos is Chuck Taylor, Trent Barrett, Rock Romero, and team with El Desperado. It's the first of 4 pre-show matches. So Punky fights with some double team moves on Comfort. Chuck Taylor takes in, hits Toy with Soulful in a boot, but Mogul Embassy were also in the floor as Rock Romero, El Desperado, and Chuck Taylor all took turns to dive. That was kept off by a moonsault from Beretta. Back inside, Leona flattens Beretta with a pop-up Samoa drop. As Beretta remains isolated, Brian Cage connects with a Death Valley on the apron, but Leona misses Leaping Senton. This lets Beretta hit a counters the layer into a half and half. Brad dodges a charge of Leo, makes a hot take Desperado, and he ran out on Swerve Strickland. Desperado went after Strickland, but Romero had to stop him so they could group hug and give the people what they want. Desperado got hit with a pop-up triple powerbomb and then Swerve with the house call. Romero and Strickland slug it up before everyone started hitting high impact moves in session. Strickland missed another Swerve storm and collides with Cage, leading to Strickland being planted with a strong 0 for a 2 count. Romero tries to slice Brett, but was met with Cage as him and Swerve hit an F5 cutter combo, and then the Swerve stomp for the victory at 12 minutes and 23 seconds. Fun little pre-show match. It was 6 out of 10. The second match, we have a quarterfinal match of the 2023 Women's Owen Hart Cup. So the winner will meet Will Nigo in the semifinals. Ring World Women's Champion Athena goes with Billy Starks. Starks hits a thrust kick and a neckbreaker over the knee, but Athena comes back with a kick up head scissors in the corner and then trash talks the Toronto Crow. They're not front suplex and a front them kept Athena in control as Starks was punted in the ribs and was struggling to get up. Athena took her time climbing the ropes, but got hit with a thrust kick in midair, and Starks hit a Death Valley bomb for a 2 count. Starks went up top herself, but was crotched as both ladies slugged it on the rope, so Athena hits a hurricane and a pop-up powerbomb. Both ladies trade draw kicks, and Starks went for a swanton bomb. Athena rolls out of the ring to the ring apron. Starks went for a double. Athena moves out of the way and rolls out and hits a slam pile driver for the win at 7 minutes and 49 seconds. Fun little matchup here. I give this one 7 out of 10. So Athena will meet Will Nigo in the semifinals, while Sky Blue will meet the winner of the Britt Baker Ruby Soho match. Their third pre-show match, Battle of Canadians here. El Phantasmo goes one with Stu Grayson. Stu Grayson was on his attack early, but El Phantasmo was a double leg, then used speed takeover. Then he tries for a springboard walk, but dove into a winning Grayson, but he caught with a slam. Then we get chopper stitch that turned to a slap out and a slugfest, so ELP went for the purple Nurple. Stu didn't stand for the nonsense, so he hit a slingshot sent on the apron AOP missed the line so as Grayson bails to the outside to get caught with a tope before a senton off the top rope gets back right for a 2 count. Tries to go for CR2, but Grayson fights out by his spinning slam. AOP cuts up Grayson in the ropes, hits a super hook rope followed by Thunder Kiss 86 for a 2 count. Grayson ducks a sudden death by playing ELP, then hits a 450 splash for a 2 count of his own. Then he stables for a nightfall, but ELP escapes with a springboard DT, followed by CR2 for the win at 7 minutes and 14 seconds. I get this one 6 out. This was a fun little match. Then our final pre-show match, we have 6 minute tag team match. We had United Empire Junior Tag Team Champs TJP, Kyle Fletcher, and Jeff Cobb go against LIJ's Junior Champion Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, and Bushi. United Empire attacks LIJ at the belt, isolates Bushi, but almost immediately out of the gate. Jeff Cobb connects with a same moonsault, but Bushi drop kicks the leg out and takes Hiromu Takahashi, and he ran well. Then Hiromu with a shotgun drop kicks and TJP in the car, but he caught Takahashi in the clutches with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Shingo Takagi makes a tag and fires a forearm for Kyle Fletcher. It hits a half and half followed by thrust kick before TJP hits a Mamba splash. Goes for the cover, but Shingo kicks out at 2.5. Cobb and Hiromu and Fletcher Bushi both pair off outside as Shingo plays TJP with a pop-up Death Valley driver. Takagi hits him with a popping bomber. Goes for the count, but Jeff Cobb broke it up. Hiromu and Bushi hit dueling dives as TJP ducks the Lasso of the Dragon, but Takagi drills him to the mat with the mate in Japan for the victory at 7.5 minutes. Honestly, fun, great main event pre-show match, quote unquote. I just wanted 7 out of 10. Now we go to the main show. And by the way, I forgot to mention top of this review. So Adam Cole and Tom Lawler were supposed to meet one-on-one, but Adam Cole was sick, so he couldn't. So Tom Lawler was on Dark Match for San Pentago. So that's, I forgot to mention that, so I do apologize. But let's get into the main show. We start with the AEW World Title match. MJF defends 1/3 of the never openweight 6-man tag team champions Hiroshi Tanahashi. MJF mocks Tanahashi's air guitar, then he bails to the outside once Tanahashi took over and chants a coward rained out with Tanahashi conducting the fans. MJF came back and wanted a handshake, but Tanahashi didn't follow for it, so he slapped MJF silly. And then MJF shields himself to Bryce Remsburg and took control by draping Tanahashi over the top rope, and then Tanahashi rolls for a knee lift into a roll-up, but he charges again. But MJF locks an animal stretch by occasionally putting his hand on the top rope. MJF got caught, and then Remsburg kicks the hand free to allow Tanahashi build momentum. After hitting his somersault senton, Tanahashi eventually hits Aces High. That's basically a standing high fly flow. As MJF tried a flow earned the Corbo run off the top rope, followed by a sling blade. Tanahashi again took too long trying to get to his feet from under on top alone. MJF to crotch him and followed a superplex. He goes for a heat seeker, but Tanahashi fired by landing right on his knee. MJF comes back with a double underhook shoulder breaker, did it on the back knee and hurts him in the process. He spat and trash talked Tanahashi as he fought because with a poke to the eyes. MJF flips off the crowd, but that got turned to a Dragon Screw, and then Tanahashi locks in a Cloverleaf. MJF gets the roast, but Tanahashi comes back with the twist and shout. That's a spinning neck breaker and a sling blade before going up for the high fly flow, basically a frog splash. But MJF gets the knees up. MJF rolls to the floor and wants to use the world title, but Remsburg takes the title away from him, and Tanahashi had the virtual pin on him. But MJF sends him into Bryce and then Cheap Shot with the Dynamite ring to get the title, the win, and retain the title at 15 minutes and 46 seconds. Honestly, fun opening match between MJF and Tanahashi. You kind of knew it was a little predictable, but I mean, it's not a bad thing sometimes. But honestly, I like this. I just want to honestly, I like this match better than a little bit better than the Swerve Tanahashi match on Collision. But overall, it was a fun match. Then we kick next match on the main show. We start the men's quarterfinal match of the 2023 Owen Hart Cup. CM Punk will go on with Satoshi Kojima. So Kojima fires out shots in the corner, and then Punk charges them, but got hit with a hip toss. This low Kojima deflects for the crowd. Punk fight by mocks Kojima by Sim to the outside where both men trade chops. Punk was over to the ring intent. They nearly took over, bringing out Dasha in the process. Then they get back inside the ring. Kojima was caught by a leg leer as Punk did the Hogan hand to the ear and hits a leg drop for a 2 count. Then 10 corner punches from Punk, and then he fearlessly picked Kojima apart but mocked the corner lyrics by yelling Kojima's name. After some chops, this welcome Kojima as he fired off machine gun chops. Kojima nails Punk with an elbow drop off the top to the private area. Punk blocks Kojima. Koji covers, he hits a corner knee strike and a top elbow. Then Punk blocks an anaconda vice, but strikes at the head as Kojima got free. Then more chops by Punk. Tries to go for the GTS, but Kojima escapes into chops at home. of his own, then leading to a Koji cutter. Punk carried the lariat into a neckbreaker, tries for GTS again, but Kojima cares about Brainbuster. He misses lariat one more time. Punk with the high kick, and then a go to sleep that finally connected for the win at 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Fun little match, this one as well. I give this one 7 out of 10. So Punk will meet the winner of the Roger Strauss Mojo match. Also, since we're talking about Owen Hart, there are collision spoilers out here. I know who advances to the semifinals, but I'm not. For anyone that does not want to get spoiled, I'm not gonna say who advanced, so I'm just gonna leave it non-spoiled. So Punk will meet the winner of the Samoa Joe Roger Strong match. That'll be on the July 8th episode. Collision. Tony Khan announced that last night on Twitter. But honestly, you kind of knew Punk was advanced. Again, predictable, but it was still pretty good. I really enjoyed this match. Now we go to another title match of the show. This one for the AEW International title. Orange Cassidy defends the New Japan Pro Wrestling Television Champion Zack Sabre Jr., Ring Lord Pure Champion Katsuyori Shibata, and Daniel Garcia. Orange Cassidy tries little kicks on everyone, but CSG, Sabre Jr., Shibata, and Garcia play hot potato Cassie's leg. Sabre and Shibata found themselves sent to the outside, and Cassidy hits a dive back inside as everyone turns trying putting submission holds on Cassidy. Garcia and Sabre Jr. were about to fight when Shibata take them both on. Garcia was getting shoved away until he started dancing. It was on to Sabre and Shibata beating him down. All four men take each other with a series of big boots. It was on to a forward big boot, and then all four men would go down. The Shibata and Sabre Jr. doing corporate twists as they slap each other instead of holding on as Garcia and Cassie got double sleepers. Everyone took turns with suplexes till Cassie stunned Doug Miller and a DDT on Garcia for a 2 count. Sabre Jr. wrenches at Cassie's wrist, but got thrown in the rim post as back inside Garcia hits Shibata with the pure title for a 2 count. Then Shibata starts on forearms, nails Garcia was on stuff the corner stall and draw kick. Shibata and Cassie face off, they both stand down and train slaps. They'll call back to their match back in Lake City in November of last year, I believe. I know it was last year, something I just can't remember exactly when. Shibata went for a home run shot, but Cassie faked the hands in the pockets and connects with Orange Punch. Shibata flew with a strike. Cassie hits Beach Break, but Sabre Jr. comes in and stomps on the wrist. Sabre Jr. carries the mousetrap and stomps down Miller, but Sabre Jr. went for a submission as Shibata locks in a weird naked choke. Garcia tried to line up to get booted to the outside, and Sabre Jr. hits a European clutch, goes for the pin, but Garcia broke it up. So he plants Sabre Jr. with a power driver. Shibata hits the PK, and Cassie sends Shibata to the floor and gets a crucifix pin on Garcia to retain the title at 11 minutes and 27 seconds. And another match I really enjoyed. You figure Garcia was getting because he was the only champion, only person in this match who was not a champion, but I just went 7 out of 10. This was great. Then we go to the IWGP World Heavyweight title match. Sanada defends Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Perry gets a quick takedown, locks a snare trap, but Sanada got the rope break. Sanada tried regrouping outside, but Jungle Boy hits a Tobe. Back inside, both men tried the Paradise Lock, but Sanada won the exchange. Once free, Perry tries a stretch exchange, but crumble off a chop. So Jungle Boy nails Sanada with a lariat and a Tiger Drop for a 2 count. But Sanada responded with a neck breaker into a double down, then both men trade strikes with Perry. Tried a crucifix, but Sanada got a fireman carry, which Perry countered into a skull end out of Sanada's submission move. Sanada gets the rope break and then caught a running Jungle Boy with a TKO. Goes for the cover, but only got 2 count. Sanada misses the moonsault, lands on his feet, then he got the skull in briefly, but Perry hits a Poison Rana. Perry tried for the home run shot, but Sanada ducks and got the swing skull in before he spikes with a Poison Rana zone, Shining Wizard in for a 2 count, and then a moonsault to put Jungle Boy away at 10 minutes and 49 seconds to retain the IWGP World title. Honestly, this one, he was okay. It was just kind of there. I don't know. I find it just couldn't get out of first gear. I just went 6 out of 10. It's part this is actually, out of this main show, this is actually the weakest thing on the show, but we'll talk more. Sorry, one of the weakest things, I should say. After the match, FTW champion Hook helps Perry up with the ramp, and Hook holds up Perry's hand, and then Jungle Boy nails him with a lariat. He drops his knees and soaks into the boos and mocks the crowd, waving their hands. He holds up the FTW title and then tosses a hook, and he stops top of the ramp and went to the heel slide to the back. You kind of figured this heel turn was happening, but I'm glad. I think it was time for Jungle Boy to go heel. And now, the next match, we go to a 10-man tag, never openweight 6-man tag, champion Tomohiro Ishii, the Elites, Hangman Page, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Eddie Kingston teams up to go against the Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Ring of Honor World Champion, Claudio Castagnoli, William Shiro Uno, and Kenosuke Takeshita. So Claudio bails for Eddie Kingston, so Umino and him and Page have a fast opening sequence. Then Ishii and Takeshita jump in, had an extended forearm battle, and then they trade a series of short blocks that both men did not. So until both men just finally collapse, Young Bucks do some offense, and everyone told Eddie Kingston, John Moxley stand in the face as the trial crowd goes crazy. Moxley for the first forearm as Kingston lowers the straps, and we have a chop bottom. Then everyone starts on the outside as Kingston and Moxley are just still chopping the shit out of each other. And then Page hits a moonsault onto the floor to everybody out. Claudio gets a cheap shot on Kingston in the chop war. Yuta picks up the pieces. Moxley takes a cheap shot at Kingston as Claudio comes back with a boot. Sorry, I almost said Takagi. Takeshita locks Kingston in a camel clutch. Ishii trying to break up, but Takeshita knocks out Ishii with a vicious form. I mean, that form, oh my god. And then Kingston remains isolated till he blocks a boot from Claudio, then hits a lariat was meant to take, but Moxley still in front of them. The chop out continued to both men hit lariats. Ishii recovers around while countering a suplex from Claudio into a brainbuster. Takeshi jumps and hits a haluba kick. Umino pops up with a pop-up knee. Ishii sends Moxley into Umino and then plants with a back suplex into a double down. Heyman and Takeshita collide when Takeshita tried to go for the Takeshita line, but was caught with a roaring elbow. Heyman cleans house outside the ring, sends Takeshita into the winning arms of the Young Bucks for hitting a shooting star press off the apron. Heyman comes over with a top rope close and back inside for a 2 count. Takeshita gets out of that eye, but got hit with a triple kick, super kick by the Humbucks as the Humbucks missed PT trigger and both of their knees collided with each other. Kesha hits a double German suplex in the Humbucks, then recovered enough for a super kick party. Moxley was about to hit, but Kingston takes the ball for his friend as Matt Jackson got hit with a Blue Thunderbolt from the Kesha for a 2 count. Takeshita nails Matt with a Cazadora suplex before Moxley and Uno hits a heart attack, then a giant swing from Claudio and a Yuta with a draw kick. I kind of like that little callback to the tag team with Claudio and Tyson Kidd in WWE. Excuse me. Claudio and Yuta went for the rocket launcher, but Nick Jackson just got enough of Yuta and made her stop the move. Ishii makes a take, hits Yuta with a superplex as Kingston and Ishii switch Yuta with lariats. Everyone started taking each other moves, ends with Claudio getting hit with a spinning back fist from Kingston. He gets hit with a Moxley cutter. Yuta avoids buckshot lariat from Hangman, but was turned inside by lariat from Ishii, and then a brainbuster for the win at 21 minutes and 29 seconds. This match, I really, really enjoyed this match. I like the storytelling in this match. I give this one 9 out of 10. I can't wait for their third match. Spoiler, they're going to be in blood and guts, but it's probably going to be. Well, Kingston can't really do it because he's in G1, but still, it'll probably be Omega taking Kingston's spot. So then we go to a women's title match. We have Toni Storm defends against the New Japan's strong woman, Will Nightingale. Toni Storm tries sneak attack, but Will hits a shotgun drop and sends Storm to the outside with Ruby and Saraya ready to distract him. Nightingale was not having none of it since both women into each other, only for Toni to come over with a hip attack. Saraya and Soho get cheap shots in as Storm took control with a snap suplex. Will fight out Fall Nelson in a spinning slam to create some distance. While on the apron, Toni tried to go for Storm Zero, but Nightingale counters into a Death Valley driver on the apron. Back inside the ring, Nightingale hits a running Death Valley driver as she went for a moonsault. The referee saw the Outcast throw Storm a spray paint can. There we go. So he tosses both legs out, but Nightingale misses the moonsault and a snap Sweet Cheeks in their DT connected for Storm for a 2 count. Willow drops Storm with a spine buster before locking a figure 4. Storm escapes and wanted the hip attack again, but Nightingale pounds her to the floor. Back inside, Nightingale hits his core lariats, but Storm pulls the referee forward, breaks the ice, and then Storm Zero to put Nightingale away at 10 minutes and 27 seconds. This was fun. I really enjoyed this one. I give this one 6 out of 10. And now we go to the IWGP US title match. Kenny Omega will defend against Will Ospreay. This is a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom earlier this year. So this review, I can't do it justice, but I'm going to talk about it as well. So Ospreay was warned earlier about high chops to the throat as each man countered one when Angel and Oscar into a stalemate. Thumb to the eye and chops by Ospreay. He plays to the crowd. This allows Omega. They hit the Hurricane and you can't escape move. Ospreay bails to the outside and Omega try to go for his Terminator job, but Don Callis hooks the leg and security step in front of him. Referee Paul Terra ejects Callis as Ospreay hits a sling slide dive into Omega knee first in the steps. Back inside, a spinning neck breaker led to a delayed vertical suplex. Ospreay stays in control. Omega counters a counter of an Omega hip toss in the corporate twist led to a misdirect dropkick to the knee of Ospreay, followed by the Katato Crusher. Ospreay hits a wall walk into Guri as he drapes Omega on the top rope, hits a shooting star press, followed by an Os Cutter onto the apron. That was a nasty bump. Ospreay will. We get the Wrestle Kingdom table spot as Ospreay slams Omega's head onto the announce table, and that busted him open. Back inside, Ospreay licked the blood of Omega and then said yum, and then we got the you sick fuck chance. Omega tried to fight back, but collapsed to inks to a Royal Elbow. Ospreay hits a feed trigger, grabs a Canadian flag, it pulls a Shawn Michaels from Survivor Series 1997, wipes his ass with it, and then Omega hits a lariat, and then chokes Ospreay over the top rope with the flag. And then Omega hits a running feature that sends over the barricade lane to Omega slamming Ospreay hit first in the steps, causing Ospreay to be busted open. Omega followed with a DT on the steps as we're back inside. Omega tries a triangle choke, but Ospreay powers to a powerbomb. Both men trade a series of German suplexes. Omega hitting a feed trigger, but Ospreay comes back with a Spanish fly for a 2 count. Ospreay, of course, you got to be in Canada. You got to lock in the sharpshooter, but locks into a crossface. But Omega guts to the ropes for a rope break. Ospreay hits Koala kicks and chops Omega, tries to fire back, but nothing behind his strikes. Thrust kicks by Ospreay. He tries for Os Cutter cut with a knee in midair. Snapdragon suplexes, knee to the back, pulls around and spike. Power driver combination got Omega a 2 count. Omega tries to go for the leg trap neckbreaker in a feature to the corner as they went up to the ropes. Omega won a avalanche one-wing angel, but Ospreay carries into the cheeky Nando, sorry. Omega rolls to the outside where Ospreay immediately hits Guy Twister press. They're back inside again. Ospreay hits a springboard forearm to the back as Ospreay won a hidden blade, but Omega ducks it, tries to lure, but Ospreay float into a Liger bomb. That was a beautiful spot. Ospreay with a top rope Os cutter for a 2 count. Omega counters Stormbreaker into a dead eye. Then we see Don Callis comes back to the ring. Omega hits repeated knees as Callis clutches Ospreay as there's a tug of war between him and Callis. And the referee steps in as Callis gives Ospreay a screwdriver out of his pocket. Will hits Omega with it, hits a hit blade and a Stormbreaker, and then Omega puts his foot on the rope. I actually thought that was it. Ospreay hits feed trigger and a one-way angel, but Omega kicks out of one. I really enjoyed that spot. Then we get a slugfest. Ospreay hits a hook kick. Omega comes back with a brainbuster. Omega hits Croyd's Wrath. We haven't seen that in a very long time. It's basically a electric chair German suplex combination. That's what that is. Both men counter each other's finishers. Ospreay hits a ripcord, hidden blade, Tiger Driver 91, another hidden blade, and then a Stormbreaker for the win. And then count a 2-time IWGP United States champion at 39 minutes and 50 seconds. Wow. What a match. I can't do it justice by reviewing this, but this was great. Honestly, out of the two, I like this one a tiny bit better than the Wrestle Kingdom match, but both of them. Also, these spoiler for my top 500 matches 2023. Honestly, I think I got my top 2. They're at least in my top 5 to 10. So, but I give this one 20 out of 10. By the way, this breaks my scale for highest match ever. But I can't wait for their third match. Wonder if they're going to do it at All In or next year's Wrestle Kingdom. We'll have to wait and see. But no, Ospreay could go into it at G1 as the IWGP US champion. But honestly, spoiler, easily best match of the night. But I'll tell my matches of the night after this review. And then this is the calm down match after that. This is the trio: Suzuki Gods, Chris Jericho, Minoru Suzuki, and Sammy Guevara. Go get Sting, Darby Allin, and Tetsuya Naito. Naito does some stalling as Guevara responds with a draw kick and a kick up and then poses. Naito chucks Guevara to the floor and does his tranquilo pose. Both men turn on the speed briefly before Darby Allin, where Minoru Suzuki takes in. Darby dares Suzuki to hit him, and Suzuki said, all right, I'll do it, and hits him. And then Darby nearly got a pin off a weird neck and choke before Sting makes a tag, and Jericho screamed for a tag. Suzuki did after he didn't want to, but he finally did it. And then Suzuki attacks him from behind, and everybody brawled. Sting, Jericho slugged him in the ring for Jericho mocks a Sting how, and he got ended up in the Scorpion Deathlock as a result. Guevara came in with a nasty cutter off the top rope, and then Suzuki did a trio of pros. Sting fight back, takes in Darby. He hits a Cobra on Guevara for a 2 count. Jericho distracts long enough for Guevara to hit a top rope Spanish fly as both Darby and Sammy clunk hits on the double down. Now Jericho taken. Jericho carries Gloria into a sleeper as Guevara and Suzuki log their own sleepers on Darby and Sting. The match goes to the outside where Darby hits a fast time to Suzuki, but he went at Jericho. He got hit with a mid-air juice effect. Sting got sent into the barricade as Jericho pulls out a tail from under the ring and puts Sting on it. Jericho demanded Guevara to put it first, so he hit a 630 splash on table. That was a crazy bump. I think Sting was supposed to move, but he never did. No, gets Sting up to avoid a line, so Jericho counts this deal into the walls of Jericho. Sting put some of the Scorpion Deathlock, but Suzuki appears and traps Sting in a weird naked choke. Now broken up, hits a code breaker but he got hit with a cobra for a 2 count. Suzuki and Naito went out to Sting, and Naito worked together. This Sting hits Suzuki with a lariat, and then Naito rolls him up for the win at 15 minutes and 9 seconds. This was an alright trios match. It just went 6 out of 10. I didn't like Murray Grandpa getting pinned, but oh well. But honestly, I'd rather see Minoru Suzuki for Sting more than Jericho and Sting. Honestly, but honestly, this one's 6 out of 10. Now we go to the main event of the second annual Forbidden Door. Never openweight six-man tag champ Kazuchika Okada goes on with Bryan Danielson. Danielson escapes to grabs El Okada early on transfer Romero special, but stomps on the knees instead of the match bills to the outside where Okada hits a big boot that sends Danielson into the crowd. Danielson counters the driven DDT and sends Okada into the ring post. Danielson comes over to run draw kick for the ropes, followed by a diving knee off the apron. He works on the right shoulder, goes for Charles. Okada wakes up and he knows so as he led to a flapjack as a big boot drops Danielson as Okada hit a leaping corner splash and a DT for a 2 count. Danielson was placed in the corner and Okada draw kicks him to the outside where Danielson reverses whip into the guardrail, misses the charge in the crowd, and Okada hits a crossbody over the barricade. That was a cool spot. It always is. Excuse me. Back inside, Okada locks a money clip, turns into an air raid crash. Okada wants a avalanche landslide, but Danielson fights out and hits a missile draw kick. Both men trade launchers and uppercuts that got more intense and goes until Okada fires off a shotgun draw kick. Danielson comes back with a release German suplexes, series of running boots in the corner. With a third, Okada comes back with a draw kick. Danielson ducks Rainmaker, but Okada hits another draw kick. He tried to go for the top row elbow drop. Danielson caught him with a disarmer and then locks in the bell lock. Okada gets to the ropes and then Danielson punts him to the floor. He clutches up a Rainmaker, but it hits a charging draw kick and then some yes kicks. Okada hits a home run shot and connects with a tombstone on the ramp. He gets him back in the ring and Okada hits a top rope elbow, then does his Rainmaker pose. Danielson was dead as Bryce comes for the doctor as Danielson was looked like he's about to have a seizure. This was trying to go for Danielson, but Danielson was playing possum and hits a Psycho knee into a double down. Danielson flips out a German suplex, hits another Psycho knee for going kicks Okada's hidden. Tries to lock him with the lapel lock of one arm, but couldn't do so as hit kicks connects his Danielson to the S chains, ran to a draw kick from Okada as he nails landslide and a Rainmaker for a close 2 count. Both men duck each other's finisher attempts. Danielson finally gets to the belt lock and he had to use his leg to wrap Okada in such a crazy way that Okada had no choice but to tap out for the submission win at 27 minutes and 47 seconds. I really enjoyed this match. I know Dream Match gets run a lot, but this was one I was really excited for. I just went 10 out of 10. My only nitpick is I didn't really like that seizure spot. Honestly, that was my only nitpick. And Danielson, 10 minutes in this match, broke his arm. He's going to be, originally they said 6 to 8 weeks, but he's actually going to be a lot longer, which is Danielson's speedy recovery. But they said, I seen reports that apparently this was to go an extra 10, 20 minutes at the most. But honestly, I really enjoyed this match. I can't wait for the rematch down the road. But I just want 10 out of 10. But here's the but overall, I really enjoyed this show. I give this overall score, I just went 8 or 9 out of 10. I like this year's a little bit better than last year's, but not by much. But honestly, matches of the night for me are the IWGP US title match, Okada versus Danielson, and the 10. That's my top 3. That's because they have the highest. But basically anything 7 and higher, I recommend checking out as well. But that was Forbidden Door. And now we will move into the Monday, June 26 shows. So we'll kick it off with All Japan Pro Wrestling Dynamite Series Night 4. So we'll kick it off with tag team match. We had Evolution's Hikaru Saito and Dan Tamura go defeat All Japan Pro Wrestling TV 6-man tag champ Black Maranza and Kenichiro Ara via powerbomb, 6 minutes and 23 seconds. Wrestling Night 2 first Itani entered a 15-minute time limit draw. But over decided to beat All Japan Pro Wrestling TV 6-man tag team champ Togo Amori via jumping DT, 6 minutes and 47 seconds. 6-man tag team match with Astronauts, Firme Abe and Takaya Nomura. Teams were right anyway versus Yoriki Doi, Hokuto Amori, and Naoki Tensagi ended a 20-minute time limit draw. One half of the World Tag Team Champions Kento Miyahara defeating Koro Suzuki via roll 14 minutes and 14 seconds. Tag team match in Side Brothers Jun and Ray versus Suwama and Dasaki Sakimoto ends in a double count of 8 minutes and 31 seconds. In the main event, 6-man tag team match with Triple Crown Heavyweight Champ Yuji Nagata, Hiroki Honda and Master Wato defeating the Oyagi brothers, World Tag Champ Yuma and Jiro Asuki, and All Asian Tag Champ Yoshitatsu by submission via Nagata lock number 4 on Yoshitatsu, 16 minutes and 32 seconds. That was All Japan Pro Wrestling. And then we'll go to Dragon Gate's Rainbow Gate Night 14. So we kick it off with Some tag team match, we had D Courage open a Dream Gate champ Madoka Kitayuta and Yuki Yoshioka defeating Sea Kai and Hayo via Rowan Lariat 10 minutes and 12 seconds. More tag team, this time it's one half of the open a 20 gate champ Yasushi Kanda and Jinky Horiguchi defeating Keiji Tora and Problem Dragon via Ryu 10 minutes 54 seconds. 6-man tag team match with Shun Skywalker, D Monte, and Ishin of Seabrats. They defeat Natural Fives open a triangle gate champ Dragonfell Kamei and Strong Machine J team of Ultimate Dragon Fiat for the finale on Kamei 8 minutes and 13 seconds. Tag team match we had M3 creates open a 20 gate champ Shimizuki and Misaki Mochizuki defeating Dragon Gate and Ryu Fuji for Yogasuka Cutter on Fuda in 15 minutes. In the main event, 8-man tag team match with gold classes Ben K, BB Hawk, and Kota Minoura. Team with Yamao defeat Natural Fives open a triangle gate champs Kazi Bibash Mushu. Open a Brave Gate champ Jason Lee and UT via Gallery on UT 17 minutes and 19 seconds. So that was Dragon Gate. And now we will go to Monday Night Raw. This is the final Raw before Money in the Bank. So we kick it off with a video recap that led to the upcoming match between Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio. And by the way, we're live from Savannah, Georgia for this Raw. Then we see Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley and Dominic are in the ring. Dominic tries to welcome fans to Raw, but boos from the crowd drown him out. So Rhea Ripley then calls Cody Rhodes a loser and his momentum has been slowing down as of late. And she says Dominic will bum out his misery in London, England. So Cody's music hits, he makes his way down to the ring. Cody says he knows what they're trying to do. It welcomes fans to Raw. Dominic tried to speak out once again, but he's called by more boos. He whispers some to Rhea. And she says Dominic told her that he would show Cody exactly how dangerous, and Cody trains for the education. He proves to be effective and invites Dominic to share how he feels. He says those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. He says Dominic quoted from a children's book, Cat in the Hat. Guess he's just that. So Dominic and Rhea retreat to the back, and Cody asks where they're going. He says he will give him a free shot, and Dominic hops back on the apron. He dismisses Cody and hops down for him to the back before Cody asks if he wants to find out Dominic is how the man his father is, or simply he's mommy's little boy. I actually enjoyed this opening segment. I don't really care for the match, to be honest with you, Money in the Bank, but I thought this was a pretty good opening segment. And speaking of Money in the Bank, we got two members of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match going one-on-one here. Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura wastes no time far right hands and knees and delivers a knee to Ricochet's midsection. Ricochet fires back with a scissors kick and low bridges Nakamura on the apron, but Nakamura locks in a sleeper. Ricochet escapes and delivers an integrate before both men send each other tumble to the floor with boots. Bronson Reed applause before Ricochet hits him with an integrate and Nakamura lands a boot, then gets back inside the ring and takes out Reed once again. Reed looks to get in the ring, but the referee ejects him from ringside as we go to commercial break. When we come back from break, Ricochet delivers a springboard crossbody, falls with a series of forearms, and a springboard back over, then delivers a standing shooting star press and goes for a cover for a 2 count. Ricochet looks for a moonsault, but Nakamura gets his knees up and plants him. Tries to go for the King shot stop, but Ricochet catches with a recoil, climbs the top rope. Nakamura trips him and hits a knee to the midsection. But Ricochet manages to hit a standing slice break, goes to the back up to the top rope, and connects with a shooting star press for the win at 10 minutes and 50 seconds. This match was really fun opening match. I just won 7 out of 10. And then we go backstage. We see a confident Matt Riddle talking to Boris Saxon about his challenge to Gunther for an Intercontinental match Money Bank. That was earlier in the day before Raw started. Ludwig Kaiser walks it, and he attacks Riddle before Gunther. Pierce accepts the challenge. Then after the break, we go backstage to Adam Pierce before Dominic and Rhea Ripley walk in. Dominic demands a match in the show to prove how tough he is to Cody. He says he has someone in mind, and Pierce asks who. Rhea rips some to Dominic and tells Pierce he'll get back to him to close that segment. We'll talk about that when we get closer. Second match, preview of the women's tag team title match at Money in the Bank. One half of the champs, Ronda Rousey, goes with Raquel Andreas. Match starts with a lockup. Ronda hits a kick to Raquel's midsection, but Raquel plans with a delayed vertical suplex. Then Rousey sets up for Piper's Pit, but Raquel escapes it at the short tackle. Rousey locks an ankle up, while Andreas fights her way up and looks for an arm submission, but Raquel counters it into a follow. Lands a second one and looks for a cross-group elbow. Shayna pulls Rousey out of the way before Liv Morgan takes it on the outside as Rousey takes advantage and rolls up Raquel for the victory at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I mean, it was just there. I just won 3 out of 10. And then we go to a video of Finn Balor. He has a message for the World Heavyweight Champ, Seth Rollins. And speaking of Seth Rollins, he makes his way down to the ring and he welcomes Savannah Georgia to Monday Night Rollins. Gives a shout out to NXT champion Carmelo Hayes, who's in the audience. He thanks Carmelo for having us back this past Tuesday on NXT. And after Finn Balor attacked him, says they have more in common than what meets the eye. He says they're both fighting champions and promotes Carmelo's NXT title match on the second night of Gold Rush with Baron Corbin before wishing him luck. Then he addresses his Money in the Bank match with Finn Balor. He's the guy's answer about which Balor will become the Money in the Bank last week. And he calls him out to the ring. So he doesn't appear. So Rollins says Finn will be hiding in the shadows. He says Balor hasn't convinced himself and he's supposed to take everything from Rollins like he did 7 years ago. He says despite not being 100% tonight on Saturday afternoon, Balor hasn't accounted for him. Rollins says it wishes him Balor in the ring. Balor's best version is not as good as he is. So we see Balor, he tried to blindside Rollins with a chair, but he sees him coming, knocks the chair out of his hand. Reigns had right hands for Balor, grabs the chair. Rollins knocks it out of his hands, wants to give up. Rollins stumps down the ring, and Reigns has more right hands. Balor sends a crash in the ring, steps to the announce table, and then doors a kick to the midsection. Grabs a chair for the timekeeper's area. Carmelo grabs it out of his hand, allow Rollins to close him into the air, timekeeper's area, and then Balor retreats for the crowd to close that segment. I actually really enjoyed this segment as well. They never had bad matches all the times they met, so I can't wait for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Sorry, the world title match of Money in the Bank tomorrow night. And then we go to a video of Byron Saxton with Tommaso Ciampa. He asked Ciampa what he tagged Miz last week, and Ciampa explains his frustration over the fact that Miz never checked on him once he got injured. So we were supposed to get this match, but it never happens as Miz attacks Ciampa halfway down the ramp, sends him in the barricade, suplexes him, and then hits a skull crush from the bottom of the ramp. So this match didn't even get started, so I can't give a rating. Then we go backstage with the Imperium strategist for the Money in the Bank match with Riddle before the tag team champions Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens walk to defend Riddle's honor, leading to an agreement for one match between Sami and Gunther later in the show. And then we go to Dominic Mysterio one-on-one with Akira Tozawa. That's the big, strong opponent. So Dominic fires on stumps close, hits the knee to the midsection of Tozawa. Tozawa comes out with right hands, hit the hurricane on running knee, climbs to the top, hits a flying short tackle. Action goes to the outside where Tozawa hits a tope suicida. He tosses Dominic back in the ring, climbs to the top, but Mysterio trips him, climbs to the top rope, and hits a frog splash for the super quick win at a minute 50. Now, my rule is if it's a minute and over, it gets a rating. Anything after that doesn't. So this counts. So I give this one 2 out of 10. And then we go to the Women's Money in the Bank Summit. Corey Graves welcomes fans to that and explains how the match works. But Bayley cuts him off and brags about being the only woman in the match to win the ladder match. She has the biggest chance of winning the ladder match, but corrects herself, says Io Sky also has a good chance of winning before Io tells Bayley made the best woman win. Selena Vega expressed her frustrations with Bayley dismissing everyone into the match and says Becky Lynch has accomplished everything except win Money in the Bank. She calls Trish Stratus a legend. That's never been a ladder matches. Everyone's looking at the next Miss Money in the Bank. Bayley laughs, but Selena tells her she'll start taking her seriously when she proves her wrong and brings the briefcase back to the LWO. Bayley says Selena is a bigger idiot. Then she looks and starts arguing along with Io. Then Zoe Starks tells him to calm down. And Trish says she's a bunch of little girls. She says it's clear to her why she needed to save the women's division. Because she is a woman, she says she's the best and greatest woman to ever wrestle, and winning is what she does. She says everyone will be thanking her for letting her be part of the historical moment, then asks Becky if she's man enough to thank her when all is said and done. So Becky takes a shot at Trish and begin brawling for her and Starks as Damage Control beat down Selena in the corner. Becky sends Trish and Starks out of the ring before Damage Control target her. Selena helps Becky and dumps Bayley out of the ring, but Sky jumps her and sends her out to join her. Io levels everyone on the outside after brawling with Lynch, allowing Lynch to climb up the ladders and hook the woman's Money in the Bank briefcase to close that segment. Honestly, I was not a big fan of this segment, to be honest with you. And when Becky climbed, honestly, I don't see her winning. Spoiler alert. But I hope the match is going to be really good. I'm Money in the Bank, but we'll wait and see. Then we go to our champion first champ match. On one half of the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champion, Sami Zayn goes well with Intercontinental Champion Gunther. Match starts with a lockup. They go back forward submission holds before Gunther hits an uppercuts in the corner. Zayn responds with a couple right hands and run back elbow, sends him to the top turnbuckle face first. Giovanni Vinci makes his way down the ring on crutches as Gunther is a German suplex as we go to commercial break. We come back from break. Gunther's wearing down Sami in the corner, delivers a chop, and sits Sami on the top and joins him up there. He sets him for a superplex, but Sami ranks some right hands on his spine, delivers a sunset flip for a 2 count. Sami delivers a close on for Gunther, locks in a sleeper, but Sami escapes and lands a blue thunder bomb. Goes to the top rope, let's go flying, but Gunther catches with a chop midair, climbs to the top rope himself and delivers a splash. Ludwig Kaiser tries to interfere, but Kevin Owens beats him down. Gunther hits Owens with a big boot for Zayn, goes flying over the top rope, takes out Gunther, throws him back in the ring, hits Explorer suplex in the corner. While the referee distracted, Vinci hits Zayn with his crutch, allowing Gunther to hit the powerbomb to score the victory at 12 minutes. I thought this match ruled. I give this one 8 out of 10. Then after the match, Imperium beats down Owens, but Matt Riddle runs down, makes a save, and he hits Finchie with one of his crutches, then attacks Gunther with it, and then Owens lays out Kaiser with a stunner. So the Bayface stand tall. Then we go to our semi-main event, non-title match. NXT champion Carmelo Hayes goes one with Finn Balor. Balor trips Carmelo, then rains with right hands, far stops in the corner, and delivers several shoulders in the midsection. Hayes comes back with a draw kick, hits an enziguri, and a double leg drop. Action spills to the outside, and Carmelo hits a crossbody over the top rope as we cut to a break. When we come back from break, Balor hits shoulders in the midsection again, falls with a chop like Carmelo falls by a back elbow. Flying off the ropes and delivers a splash in the corner. Balor comes with a series of stomps and a sling blade. Carmelo hits a super kick, springboard DDT, and then goes flying off the top rope. Balor ducks it away before Carmelo rolls him up for a 2 count. Hits a gutbuster, shotgun dropkick, and then coup de grace for the win at 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Honestly, I just went 6 out. I wasn't a big fan of Carmelo losing here on his second match on the main. He was on main event last October against Cedric Alexander. But honestly, I wasn't. Honestly, this one he probably should have done like a DQ, like had Corbin come out and like attack Carmelo or something. But I just wasn't a big fan of that part. But overall, the match was good. I just went 6 out of 10. And then when we come back from break, we get a video recap in the beginning of Civil War between the Bloodline last week on SmackDown. Then we go to main event. Cody Rhodes goes one with Damian Priest, who was in the men's Money Bank ladder match. Priest hits a short tag with a back elbow, but Cody fights back with a drop kick and vertical suplex. We see Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio center down the ringside as Priest looks to send Cody's ankle crash in the ring post. Cody sends Priest in the ring post face first, hit Tope Suicide, frozen back in the ring where he counters Dominic and Ripley, slides back in where Priest plants him with a punch as we go to break. When we come back from break, Priest hits a Falcon Arrow, plants Cody face first, delivers a clothesline, flips Cody inside, climbs the top, but Cody joins him up there, plants for they go back for right hands and kicks. Cody hits a power slam followed by disastrous kick, but Priest plants him face first. Cody sets up for crossface, but Priest escapes. Then he plants Priest with a pedigree, looks to pin him, but Damian rolls out of the ring, catches with a kick. While the referee is distracted by Rhea, Dominic trips Cody as he looks for Cody Cutter. This allows Priest to hit the Self of Heaven for a 2 count. Try to go for a Razor's Edge, but Dominic distracts the referee. Cody sends Priest crashing in the Dominic on the apron, hits a Cody Cutter, and then the Crossroads for the win at 13 minutes and 35 seconds. I give this one 6 out of 10, honestly. Not a bad match. I just wish Priest would stop getting pinned all the time. Then after match, Dominic blindsides Cody to close out this week's Raw. Overall, actually it wasn't too bad. I give this one 6 out of 10. Only matches I recommend checking out are the Sami Zayn Gunther match, Ricochet versus Nakamura, Carmel versus Finn, and Rhodes versus Priest. That's the only 4 I recommend checking out. So the Money Bank card on July 1st. There's still a SmackDown, so I don't know if they'll have one more match maybe for a pre-show or one more, but here's the 7 matches made confirmed. So 7-man Money Bank ladder match: Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. 6-woman Money Bank ladder match: Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Starks, Bayley, Io Sky, Trish Stratus. Cody Rhodes going with Dominic Mysterio. Seth Rollins defends the worldwide title against Finn Balor. In the Bloodline Civil War tag match, the Bloodline Undisputed WWE Universe Champion Roman Reigns Solo Sikoa versus the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler defend the women's titles against Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Gunther defends the Intercontinental title against Matt Riddle. So that's the Money in the Bank card as of right now. Like I said, SmackDown is in London tonight as recorded, so I don't know if they'll add one more match or not, but that I think 7's good enough to be honest with you. But that was Monday Night Raw. And now we will go to the Tuesday, June 27th shows. I'm just checking to see if NWA had a show. Yes, okay. So this is part 2 of the the World is of Empire Australia tour. So this is NWA Power. So the match to show from there was no DQ match. We had Sali's Mates v Jake Taylor 6.5 minutes. In a triple threat match, non-title, we had the women's TV champion Kenzie Page v Aisha and Natalia Markova 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Eamon Asman defeat Alex Taylor by DQ in 3 minutes. For the World Tag Team titles, the champions were Belly on Beyonce 66 and Mecha Wolf, defeating the Natural Classics, that is Stevie and Tom Flippe, 9 minutes and 52 seconds. And the main for the junior heavyweight title, Kerry Moore defeating Eamon Asman at 4 minutes and 55 seconds. So that was NWA. And then we will go to NXT Gold Rush Night 2. So we kick off with the women's title match. Tiffany Stratton defends against Thea Hill. Match starts with a lockup, and Thea Hill takes turns locking submissions for World Tournament as we see Char Dempsey and Drew Gulak on the ringside. Hale hits a draw kick that says Strand to the outside. Let's go flying up the ropes, but Strand trips her for tosses her back in the ring, hits a hang spring elbow and a kick plants Hale as we go to commercial break. After the break, Hale hits a co-breaker to Strand, plants her face first at a pair of back elbows and a suplex. Still Chase used Thompson a senton. Strand sends Hale crashing into the mat and locks in a hold. Strand enters away to the bomber as Dempsey pulls her away from her. Referee catches him doing this, and Duke Hudson gets to berate him as the referee argues with Drew Gulak. Meanwhile, Hale had the Kimura lock as Strand taps up, but the referee fails to notice, so she starts arguing with him. Strand takes advantage and rolls up Hale for the win at 9 minutes and 8 seconds to retain the title. Not a bad opener. I just went 6 out of 10. After the match, Gulak and Dempsey are beating up Duke Hudson. Hale asks for what they're doing for. See, we get the return of Andre Chase, and Chase who takes on Gulak and Dempsey. Glad to see Andre Chase back. Then we get a video package of Ilya Dragunov. Then we go backstage. We see NXT Tag Champs Gallus book about how they're retaining the NXT Tag titles tonight and then take care of Stacks. You see Idris and Nova McBay help each other up ahead of their match against Gallus. And then we go to the trans room. We see Dave broke ice on her knee as we see Kalani Jorn, who is from NXT Level Up. From the trainer's room, she tells her gymnastics pay off and told her she'll like the face whenever she heals up. And then we go to our second match, another title match of the show. For the NXT Tag Titles, Gallus defends its Idris Minofe and Billy Blade. So Mark Coffey and Blade lock up against match start, and Coffey it's a short tackle before Wolfgang tags and locks up on Blade. Idris Minofe tags into it to open the Wolfgang as Blade holds him in place, hits a boot to the face. Coffey takes back and Minofe executes an arm drag and makes a tag out to Blade. Blade hits it back up on a few chops, takes Minofe, and the challengers catch Gallus with a pair of double drop kicks. Blade takes it and sends to the top row, hits a frog splash as we see Los players watch on as we go to a commercial break. After the break, Blade hits a draw kick for Wolfgang, tags and raising right hands, tags and Mark in. Mark wears on Blade, takes Wolfgang back in, and Wolfgang locks in a hold before tagging Mark back in. Nofe takes and delivers a draw kick, takes on Wolfgang, hits an uppercut by Nofe, catches him with a spine buster and takes Blade back in. Blade and Nofe hit a double team maneuver, climb to the top where Blade delivers a splash, and Nofe falls with an elbow drop. Go for a cover, but Wolfgang broke it up. Blade ties Wolfgang from the ropes while the referee distracted. We see Stacks appears. Goes for a running uppercut on Mark, but Mark ducks it away. Stacks actually he's no fate into the steel steps. He throws him back in the ring, and Gallus hits their finisher to retain the titles at 13 minutes and 18 seconds. Not a bad title match. I just went 6 out of 10 as well. Then after the break, Metaphor are sitting back with Mackenzie Mitchell, and she has Noam Dar about losing his Heritage Cup title. And Noam Dar says he's ready to talk, so she tries to dig deeper, but Lars Sledge and Jared Jackson keep from doing so. And puts the women's tag champions Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler on notice. And then we have a schism failing meeting. Ava Ring said she called for a failing meeting because the tensions are becoming turmoil. She says the only way they'd be one again is communicate, and Joe Gacy fights him to do so. So Jagger Reed explains that Gacy promised to be better their lives when he brought him into the group, but the opposite is occurring. He says himself and Britt are starting to doubt him, and Gacy thanks Reed for his honesty. He says his trouble angers him, and while Reed has enhanced his life, he wouldn't be able to say what he did before because Fowler wouldn't let him. He says he gave both of home. Fowler says Gacy show him a new way, but himself and Reed start seeing cracks as of late since the two of them have started to who they are, and Gacy questions if they're fully committed themselves in the first place. He said they're start in their shells over a year ago. Then we hear the music of Diamond Mine. Bruce, because they're sick of their issues. Fowler tells him he doesn't concern him, and Julius Creed says it died after Ava hit Ivan out with her mask several weeks ago in that 6-person tag match. Julius says since it died, don't want to be here, and they don't want him here. Gacy is still receiving another match if they want, and propose a tag match between the Creed brothers and Diet with the twist the losers must leave NXT. And Julius agrees to the match, so we'll get that next week. I'll talk about that. By the way, there were spoilers, so I'll talk about the 6 matches. Spoiler, there were 6 matches, but I'll get after his review. Then there's a video package of Bronco Nima and Luke and Price, recapping their childhood for promise to dominate NXT. Then we go backstage to see Hank Walker, Tank Ledger talking with Scripps and Axiom before Heritage Cup champion Nathan Frazier met them. Axiom wishes Frazier good luck in his match. Scripps asks if he was into Heritage Cup, but Axiom responds he was drawn to it. Then after the break, we go to NXT champ Carmella Hayes Triple H as Hayes preparing for his NXT title match later. Then we see the women's world champ Rhea Ripley walks in and tells Carmella his business is now Judgment Day. Or to stay out of business, but next time he hopes so, it's going to be their business after having Rollins next week. Their third title match of the show dishonors the Heritage Cup title. Nathan Frazier defends Dragon Lee. So this defended a British round. So there's 6 3-minute rounds. And you can win by pinfall submission or count out if it goes to a deep if someone gets DQ or knockout, it's automatically over. First one to get to 2 falls win. But if it goes to a draw after, let's say, whoever has the most points by the 6 rounds for basically wins, and or if it's a tiebreaker after 6 rounds, the champion retains. So round one, Frazier and Lee shake hands for the lockup and go back forward with submission holds before Axiom what comes down the ringside. Then Scripps walks him back. Lee executes a snapmare and a draw kick to Frazier's head, and then lock up again before the clock runs out. Now we go to round two. Lee lands a short double. Frazier fires back with a draw kick and a chop, but Lee lands a back elbow and a Dragon's good instance. Frazier on the top row hits a hurricane for a 2. Goes for a Pantora, but Frazier reverses of his own to get the win. So Frazier takes the lead after round 2 at 1-0. Then we go to our third round. Frazier hits a sling blade, falls of a hurricane, but Lee draw kicks out of the ring. Let's go fight over the top rope and levels out. So we go to break. There wasn't much, so basically they were trying to pin each other. Then we come back from the break. We're in round 4. Frazier hits a tope suicide to Lee and tosses him back in the ring and hits it into Gary, but Frazier fires back with a super kick, and then Lee hits a last ride to score a pin of his own. So we are tied after round 4, 1 apiece. Now we go to the 5th and final round. Lee hits a draw kick to Frazier. Lands super kick, climbs the tower, but Lee mints him up there and trades him from his knee, but Frazier suplexes him in the corner as both men end up on the top rope. Lee hits a suplex, but Frazier hits suplex, but Lee plants with a powerbomb. Then they go back forward with right hands around each other before Frazier got one to stick for the win with 1 second left. So Frazier retains until at round 5, 2-1 at 13. So TV time, it went 13 minutes and 2 seconds, but overall, technically, if you take the commercials out, it basically went 15 minutes. I really enjoyed this one. Since they came to the US, this is actually my favorite one. Since it came on, so far for the US side of the Heritage Cup, this is my favorite. My least favorite is the Noam Dar Dragon Lee one, but I can't recommend this match enough. And then after match, Lee hands Frazier's cup and they hug each other. Then we head to a video of Eddie Thorpe training with Gable Stevenson. Thorpe invites him to be in his corner next week when he collides with Damon Kemp in their NXT Underground match and seems to be his honor. Then we go backstage to the locker room. We see North American champ Leslie is speaking with Miles Bourne. Before Mustafa Ali interrupt him, Ali says he called right down the middle before Tyler Bate interrupted. Bate requests a rematch, but Ali requests he want a shot too. So both men argue before Leslie left. Then we go backstage. Mr. Stone's looking for Von Wagner. He finally found him. And Von says he couldn't speak with Mr. Stone after relieving his childhood drama. And then our only non-championship match of the show, Gigi Dolan goes on with Kiana James. Match starts with a lockup for both ladies go back for submission holds before Dolan hits a kick on James and falls to a draw kick. Tom goes to the outside, so we go to break. When we come back from break, Dolan hits a back body drop to Kiana, but Kiana rolls out of the ring and Gigi follows her. Kiana lands a boom, tosses Gigi back in the ring, goes for a pin, but got a 2 count, hits a knee and falls with a kick and a pair of clotheslines. Lands a boot, but James lands a kick, grabs her personal corner, but the referee catches her, and Dolan rushes overhand and hits a crucifix driver for the win at 9 minutes and 4 seconds. This was okay. Honestly, I thought these two didn't have great chemistry. I thought it was kind of botchy at times. I give this one 5 out of 10. Then after match, Kiana takes out Dolan for a purse, hits the 401k, and then dumps a bunch of orange blue paint on the Dolan. And then we go to a video of Joe Coffey visiting Tony D'Angelo in prison. D'Angelo says Stacks will handle things, and Coffey warns him that Stacks had a mind of his own. He says Stacks was one who sold him out and plays an audio clip of Stacks confessing to do so last week. Deal reveals that Stacks released Joe last week and told him to lay low before he's done being the underboss. Then we saw a video of Blair Davenport tagging Roxanne Perez backstage while she was doing Up Next on Snapchat. Then Jason James talking trash about Fakiri with Tam Paxton Brooklyn Brawler before Fakiri had nails with a foreign strike. JC was flabbergasted until Rhea Ripley could finally say she kind of deserved it. And then we go backstage. We see Diet Spago, Ava Rain, and Diet says they were frustrated by Joe Gacy making decisions for him. Diet says if Gacy does not have a strategy for him, they will make one of their own to close that segment. Then our 5th and final match of the show, our final title match for the NXT title, Carmelo Hayes defends against Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin bring back his Lone Wolf theme song. Honestly, I wish it was End of Days, but I can't fully complain. It's better than that stupid rinky-dink jackpot music. So match starts with a lockup, then Corbin chucks Carmelo into the corner playing some, but Hayes comes with a code breaker, comes to the top rope as Corbin slides out of the ring, and Carmelo hits a splash to go to break. After the break, Corbin dumps Hayes out of the ring and hit kick to his head, but Corbin dumps over the barricade. Carmelo rains to right and left hands, but Corbin lands a boot that turns Carmelo inside out, tosses him back in the ring, rains over hammer and navel elbows, then one to his spine. Carmelo comes back with a draw kick into Gary, boot to the midsection for Corbin lands a backbreaker and an elbow and delivers a right hand to his head and series of elbow strikes. Lands a close on for Hayes, sends to the top rope, hits a frog splash, falls of a fadeaway, and a code breaker. Then it's springboard DDT. He goes back up to the top rope, goes flying, but Corbin ducks it away and gets Hayes on his shoulders. Finds with a Death Valley drop and a chokeslam backbreaker combination for the action spills to the outside, and Carmelo sends Corbin in the ring step shoulder first. Corbin powerbombs Carmelo on top of the announce table, wears him down for tosses him back in the ring for goes for a pin, but only got 2 count. Corbin reigns on right hands, and Carmelo delivers the knee to Corbin's midsection, delivers the second one to his head, and runs to ropes, but Corbin catches him with a deep six for a 2 count. Goes for end of days, but Carmelo escapes, sends his face, bounce up top rope. He climbs the top rope and hits the nothing but net to retain a title at 16 minutes and 32 seconds. This actually was really enjoyable. I just went 7 out of 10. And then we go back to HBC Braun Breaker. Richardson on Michael's office as he yells at him to figure it out, and the camera asks what it's about. And Braun says he'll find out allow everyone else next week. Then throws the camera down and close of night 2 of Gold Rush. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Overall score, I just won 7 out of 10. Only matches I recommend checking out is the Heritage Cup title and the XC title matches. That's the only 2 I recommend. So next week's I'll talk about the confirmed non-spoiler one first before there. So the ones we were in, it was the NXT Underground match, Eddie Thor versus Damon Kemp, Tag Team Loser League NXT match, Creed Brothers versus the Dyad, Roxanne Perez versus Blair Davenport, and Mustafa Ali goes one with Tyler Bate. The other 2 matches they did add to the NXT for the 4th of July was Kylie Jones versus Tane Paxley and Larry Figueroa versus JC Jane. So that's basically that was the only 2 other that was really the spoilers there, but that was NXT. And then we will go to Wednesday, June 28th, where we have Dynamite. So we had John Moss defeating Tomohiro 15 minutes and 10 seconds. In trios, actually, International Champion Orange Cassidy, Keith Lee, El Fijo, Dave Vikingo, defeating JS's Angel Parker, Daniel Garcia, and Matt Menard, 13 minutes and 12 seconds. More trios action. This up the Humbucks, Hangman Adam Page, and the Young Bucks, defeating the Dark Order, Alex Rouse, even on John Silver, 13 minutes and 48 seconds. Ruby Soho defeating Alexa Nicole, 2 minutes and 8 seconds. This was supposed to be the final women's quarterfinal match on her cup, but Britt Baker was sick, so that got pushed back to the first Dynamite of July 5th. And then the main tornado tag team match, Darby Allin and Sting defeating the late Sex Gods, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara, 12 minutes and 55 seconds. That was Dynamite. And the close of this week's show, we will end with the Thursday, June 29th shows. So we kick it off for the X Division title, the champion Chris Sabin defeating Trey Miguel by disqualification 9 minutes 33 seconds, where we saw the return of Zachary Wentz. So the Rascals has been reformed in Impact. We saw Trinity defeating Jay Fidel at 5 minutes 12 seconds. Leo Rush making his Impact debut defeating Jack Price 3 minutes 37 seconds. Master Slamovich defeating Knockout Tag Champ Kylie King 8 minutes and 9 seconds. In the main event match, Kenny King defeating Yuri Amora. But the main event of the show was Nick Aldis Wayne White Tag Alex Shelley. And that basically led to them brawling. Chris Day makes it, but Leo Rush and Nick Aldis later in the morning, same machine guns. So next week, the only 2 matches made is Jonathan Gresham versus Angels and Ed Edwards versus Frank Kazarian. And Slam Thursday made so far, we have Alex Shelley defending the Impact World title against Nick Aldis. Dion Pross defends Knockouts against Trinity. Scott D'Amore and PCO versus Bully Ray and Steve Macklin. We have a Fatal 4 match for the Impact World Tag Team titles. ABC, Ace Austin, Chris Bay defends Subculture, Mark Andrews, and Flash Morgan Webster. Sammy Callihan, Rich Swann, and Moose and Brian Myers. And a Fatal 4-Way X Division title number one contenders Ultimate X match. Jonathan Gresham, Angels, Mike Bailey, and Kushida and Kevin Knight are the 5-minute in the Ultimate X match. So that's the matches made so far. But that is Impact. And then we go to main event. We have Katana Chance defeating Emma at 5 minutes 29 seconds. And JD McDonald defeating Apollo Crews in a rematch from last week's main event at 7 minutes and 36 seconds. So that was main event. And then we will go to Ring of Honor episode 18. So we kick it off with tag match, late fashion, and Ganalves, Jericho, and Preston Vance defeat Mark Wheeler and Figron Pichard, 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Tag team match with the Righteous Dutch and Vincent defeating the Dark Orders, Alex Rounds and John Silver, 5 minutes and 31 seconds. Dean Monty defeating Lito Gray, 6 minutes and 4 seconds. Excuse me. 8-man tag team match with Ring of Honor World Tag Champs, the Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix. Team El Hijo defeating Kingo and Commander defeating the Workhorseman, Anthony Henry, J. Drake, Shane Taylor, and Greg K. Loco, 9 minutes and 1 second. Tag team match in Big Bill and Lee Moriarty defeating Cara and I do apologize for butcher's name, Tarek. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, so I do apologize. 3 minutes and 22 seconds. For the six-man tag team titles, the champions, The Embassy, Brian Cage, Toledo, and Khan defeat Let's again always stay opponents. Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Shingo Takagi, 7 minutes and 46 seconds to retain the titles. El Desperado defeat Willow Mack, 9 minutes and 4 seconds. Tag team match, Roppongi fights Rocky Romero and Trent Barrett defeat Sho and Yujiro Takahashi of House of Torture, 8 minutes and 53 seconds. Six-man tag team match, Action Drake, Chris Daniels, and Darius Martin defeat United Empire's Jeff Cobb, Kyle Fletcher, and TJP, 8 minutes and 13 seconds. First of two program matches. This is from the women's division. Women's champion Athena defeating Casey Spinelli, 2 minutes and 41 seconds. So the rules of program matches, either if you have to win or survive the 10-minute time limit draw, you get a title shot. And from the men's side, this is for on the men's side, we have the Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli defeat Chuck Taylor, 5 minutes and 28 seconds. So it's Ring of Honor. And to close up this week's episode, we will end with MLW Fusion. So we kick it off with Mini Milan defeating Clara Kira's 4 minutes and 21 seconds. And a strap match, Shane Adonis defeating Miss Warner, 9 minutes 46 seconds. And the 2023 Battle Royal winner, Alice King defeating Shayra Erie, 7 minutes and 17 seconds. So that is the show for this week, guys. I'll be back on Sunday with John, hopefully top with the shows from Friday, June 30th for Sunday, July 2nd. So stay safe, guys. Have a great weekend and stay safe.